Okay, we're on.
Well, you can cut it. You don't have to use it.
All right.
Okay.
That was a nice stop. Farmer's market in about, what is that, 8 minutes?
Yeah. We did it on fast forward.
But now I'm hungry. And you're going to make chicken soup for dinner.
Yeah, we got some yummy homemade bread that the lady mills her own grains, and it's made from an Amish sourdough starter, and has all organic herbs and garlic to flavor it as well, because we picked the herb and garlic mix.
Which I think is actually kind of interesting, because it's hard to get good grains out in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
I have to, when I bring in heirloom corns, I usually have to get them off the East Coast, like Pennsylvania even. So.
Exactly.
And then tonight you're making soup.
I'm gonna make soup because it's a rainy Pacific Northwest day, even though it's June, and we've been in the 70s and 80s a few days. Today we're in the high 50s, low 60s, and it's raining, and so it feels like a soup kind of day. And since we had roasted chicken from our homegrown chickens the other day, I made chicken stock, and so I will make some chicken soup out of that tonight, and we will have our homemade bread.
So, farmer's market bread, homegrown Cornish cross chicken soup.
Yes.
And we're planning all this out as we head north to go get our American Bresse.
Yep.
And the only reason we're driving an hour north to pick up chickens right now is because this is actually a harder breed to find in our area, and we found a local who's been hatching eggs, and we are paying a little bit more. We paid like $5 a piece for the Freedom Rangers. We're paying her $7 a piece, but they hatched out on the same day as the Rangers, so they're gonna be the exact same age, and she's kept them going for I think they're 5 days old today. So they look pretty healthy in the video she sent. No white ones, we're getting blues and blacks, and so I don't know, we'll see how it goes. We're gonna try to keep, if we get a rooster, we're open for a rooster, keep a self-sustaining flock going, and it'll be an interesting experiment. The brooder's ready, I think, so. Yeah,
so we'll just drive along here and go get our chicks.
There we go. We were supposed to be picking up chickens, but somebody saw a squirrel. What are we doing?
We're going to the farmer's market.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have 18 minutes to power walk the farmer's market, by the way, and then we have to drive an hour north to get our chickens. What is that?
Farmer's market on fast forward.
Yeah. We have tomatoes.
It's $7. You can tap right there. Okay, all right. Great. Thank you very much.
A little bit of a haul.
Yep, our pastry.
Our pastry, Marionberry.
Marionberry, yeah.
All right, back on the road, about an hour north to go get our American Bresse.
We're passing Bremerton, and this is where the shipyard is, and that's where a lot of the military ships get worked on and go when they are in between places that they need to be, and in between being worked on.
Our little Home Depot drug deal. Hey guys. So we're back home now, and I've been keeping a Govee thermostat under the heat lamps to see what temperature we're maintaining inside the outdoor brooder. It's a little cool, but I also totally forgot that I hadn't even put in any bedding yet. So there's a lot of flow coming up from beneath, which obviously is cooling things down. 81 degrees is a little cold for the first week of chicks. They usually recommend you start with 95 degrees, then 90 degrees, and 85. The Rangers have actually been fine as we approach the end of their first week at about 80 to 85 degrees, but I still want to give them the best possible start. So I'm going to put down the bedding, and then I'm going to check the temperature again and see if they're warm enough to be moved out of their temporary indoor brooder outside, where they can probably flourish and have a lot more space to spread their wings, no pun intended, and stay cleaner really is the big thing. Keep their food and their water a little bit cleaner, keep their feet safe, not get ammonia burns. I've got so much space in here for them that this is really a much more optimal situation for them, if I can make it all work exactly the way I'm hoping to. In the past, we pretty much always used pine shavings with no issues, but this one came as a recommendation for lower dust content, and I thought that would be kind of nice. Supposedly it's cleaner, it may or may not absorb better, but I figure it's a few bucks more, it seems to go a little bit further, and if it's a little bit less dusty, then we'll give it a try. So we're back from our Home Depot drug deal. The Brooder, I've got a video, I'll do a video on this later. It needs to be painted. I need to winterize it still. I want to get a quality roof built on it. Right now it works. It's been out in the rain and it's holding just fine. As you can see, before I put the bedding in, the temperature came in at just over 80 degrees. It was like 81, which I think actually is fine. In week 1 for chicks, they recommend 95 degrees and then 90 degrees, lowering it 5 degrees a week. We have the Freedom Rangers in the house right now. They're gonna be a week old here in 2 days, and they have been really comfortable. We've been kind of conditioned in the cooler temperatures. We have a heating pad that we'll put in here too, and I'll show that to you. But the ambient temperature has been more in the 80s, like between 80 and 85 degrees. And so I'm gonna check with this. I've got that bedding down now to block airflow coming up from the mesh flooring, which mesh flooring is something I don't know that I'm a huge fan of for this type of application, because I don't like the birds to have to walk on wire. But that's why I have a pretty thick layer of the bedding down on top of that. Anyways, now that the bedding's down, I don't have that airflow coming up from under the brooder, and I'm guessing it's going to hold temperature a lot better. I measured the height of the heat lamps to be the same as where we keep them in the house when we've raised birds for many, many years. We've always reared them up for the first couple of weeks inside the house at this dimension, and it's worked really well. And that was before I had the ability to even measure the temperature in there. So I'm basically duplicating what we do inside, outside on a larger scale so we can do more birds. We will have the Freedom Rangers, the American Bresse, and then I may add Cornish cross later. For right now, we're sitting at 25 birds. The Freedom Rangers will all get harvested this year. My goal is once they reach maturity to be able to take them whenever I want, take like 2 a week every Sunday for Sunday meals and meal prep. And then the American Bresse will be a little bit different. We're hoping to get a rooster, and if that all pans out, then I'll probably keep 2 or 3 of the broodiest hens with the rooster and just let nature do its thing. We're gonna keep these birds isolated from all of our other birds so that the rooster can fertilize the hens and then hopefully they start to lay and possibly hatch their own clutches. So in theory, if I keep 3 hens that are broody and they have a lot of luck, they'll produce on their own as many meat birds as we did from scratch this year ourselves. So it's just an experiment and we'll see how it goes. It's not a real common bird in our area. So kind of fun. We did drive an hour north to go get these today. We paid double. I think most of our birds have been going about $3-4 down at the local Wilco. These ones we paid are $7 a piece for, but they seem pretty healthy and they're a really pretty bird to look at too. So we're gonna keep acclimating them in the house for a few more hours. I'll see how the temperature goes up here. If it comes up to where I want it, probably between 85 and 90 degrees, then I'll consider it safe. We'll move the chicks out and we'll see how it goes. Chicken cam. I don't know where the little truck is. I gotta find that. 82 degrees with the door open though.
Yeah, we should probably get it closed.
They seem fine, don't they? Life kind of gets funny when you find an old bin full of extra chicken parts that you're probably going to sterilize and use again. So historically, when we first got started with chickens, I never really used a whole lot of, well, I did use some extras here and there as treats, but I didn't really think of it as like a major protocol. This time, I went ahead and got the Chick Boost, which is both electrolytes and probiotics, because the Rangers came to me in the mail. They were born June 2nd, and they shipped overnight. I had them June 3rd, and I just wanted them to be rehydrated and happy and energetic. And I'm really happy with it. It's not very expensive. Pour it in a bucket, 1 scoop per gallon, mix it up, and it basically looks like Gatorade. I haven't tasted it yet, but I assume it's like Gatorade. And these Rangers that, like I said, they were born Tuesday in Denver, and they arrived to me in Puget Sound the next day with no food in a box. All of them appear to be energetic and happy, and I think it's just a healthy breed. I didn't do anything but give them a little probiotics, electrolytes, food, and a normal life like I always do. Don't tell my wife that I spilled everywhere. But anyways, yeah, I think it's fine. You know, it's a cheap insurance policy. Okay, we're back to the chicken cam here. I am giving them their electrolyte water, which they obviously like. I will show you here in a few minutes, but we did go back and check the temperature again, and we broke the 90s. So the birds have a lot of space. They have 90 plus degree temperature directly under the lights, but it's a 10 by 3 brooder, 30 square feet. So they can move away from the heat if they're too warm. They can get under the heat if they're too cold. I have ventilation windows cut in with a lot of fresh air. They've got electrolytes, they've got probiotics, they've got a meat bird crumble food, so it's easy for the chicks to eat. It's high protein. I can't really think of anything else I can do to set them up for a better life. They've got good ventilation, they've got fresh bedding, they've got the hemp bedding that we're experimenting with. You know, we've been doing this for a lot of years, and honestly, I really don't lose birds. I think I've lost 2 birds in 7 years, and these birds that I'm raising now, they have the best start of every bird we've ever raised. So I'm cautiously optimistic. I think we're onto something here. I wish I was done, but now I have to go finish unpacking the car. So what started out as an adventure up to pick up some chicks turned into a stop at the Port Orchard Farmers Market, the Wilco Tractor Supply, Farmland, the fish store twice because he was closed once, Petco, that was no bueno, and a farm stand on the way home so my wife could pick up some more, I don't even know what we got. We got some flowers and some wild honey and some kind of that stuff. But either way, you know, it was a great day. It was a date day. It was an adventure. We went and we got some more chickens. We got a bunch of chickens moved outside of the house finally, which is huge. And we'll see how it goes from here. We've been doing chickens for a lot of years, but this is the first time doing this many and also doing them outside. But it looks like the weather parameters or the heat is good. We've got the food dialed, the water dialed, the electrolytes dialed, the bedding dialed. The birds are moving around. They look pretty happy. So we'll keep in touch and see how it goes. We did make one minor change. So after we cleaned the pasty butt on 2 of the Rangers, I put them back in here to give them a little bit more warmth so I can monitor them, make sure they dry off okay. The American Bresse were getting picked on by the Rangers. I swear chickens are the most racist animals on earth. They immediately started picking on the ones that didn't look like them. So we're gonna give the American Bresse 1 more week indoors in this little brooder, which we've used many times. I just am getting sick of raising chickens in my bathroom. But we're gonna raise them here for a little while and then we'll reintroduce them to the rest of the flock. Told ya, we broke 92 degrees in the outside brooder. No problem. Yeah, they're doing fine. They got plenty of warmth. Hey guys, all the way down there. They're drinking their electrolytes. They're happy. Hi guys.